Good afternoon to everyone. All of you can able to hear my voice? Okay. Um, okay. Today I'm going to start with what is the dynamic code analysis. The dynamic code analysis is just opposite to static code analysis. Okay. In the static code analysis, what we did is so while compilation, so what are the error we are going to face? We are going to rectifying it. That is called as a static code analysis. For example, while compiling that, okay, so that is called as a static code analysis. Dynamic code analysis means we even without compiling the program, okay, we are going to identify the errors. That is called as a so the dynamic code analysis. Okay. Um, okay. If you consider the dynamic code analysis, it's including the two part. One is called as a code profiling. Another one is called as a code coverage. The code profiling, it's a focusing on following activities. So we will talk about one by one. Um, Time consuming method, call sequence, thread deadlock information, live thread. Okay, okay, okay. So we talk about one by one. Okay. The first one is called as okay. Time consumed by method. It is a one of the metric. Um Okay. So here what we are going to do in order to execute that program, how much time it's going to consume. Okay. That is called as a time consuming method. Okay. For example, I had one of the program which is associated with one method. So while running that program, how much time it going to consume to produce the output. So so this is called as a time consumed by method. And second is called as a call sequence. Okay. The call sequence is the attribute list the actual sequence of the method calls in particular execution of the program. Okay, for example, I am write the program. For example, this is one of the program. It is one of the C program. I'm going to write the method using the call reference. So whenever I'm going to invoke the method, what happen first? What happen? I will the control go to the main method. So within that, I'm going to identify method name, and then what happen? Whenever I'm going to identify that method name, what happen? I will transfer the control from um, okay, calling method to calling method to called method. Okay, so while transferring the control here to there, what happened? We are passing certain argument. Okay, uh, okay. So in the call sequence, what we are going to do, which is okay, it's help to analysis of path of travel during the code of execution. How it will travel, okay, path from main function to called function. Okay, that is called as a call sequence. And the third one is called as a threaded deadlock information. Okay, for example, I'm running the program. Already has studied about the deadlock concept in the operating system. So when the deadlock is occur, suppose I'm going to execute one of the program, it's needed certain resources. That resources are already occurred by some other program. Because of that, the deadlock is occur. Okay. So here what we are going to do, while for example, I had the one of the program while executing that, whether the deadlock is occur or not. So I'm going to identifying that. So that is called as a thread deadlock information. Okay. So here what okay, there is a functionality of thread deadlock information. Next, the list of live threads and the thread states. Okay. So it will provide the data in okay, it will provide the data. So what are the threads are live, uh, and then what is the state of the thread? Okay, already we have studied that while executing the programming, it passes the five state. So what are the five states? States. One is called as a uh, ready state, and then execution state, and then waiting state. So like that states are there. Okay, uh, like that states are there. Okay, here what it going to do? It will list of how many number of threads are active. Okay, so for example, I will I'm taking my program. Okay, as of now, how many number of stages is passes through? So that type of analysis we call it as list of live threads and thread states. Okay, next last parameter is called as elapsed time. The elapsed time, what we are going to do, we are going to analyze this. For example, I had one of the C program. Finally, I will get the output. So in order to get the output, it will pass us through that process life cycle. Okay, here we are going to perform sort of analysis. Okay, how many number of time it will get the input from the user, and then how many number of time it go to the sleep state. Okay, so those times we call it as a elapsed time. Okay, so we are going to find out. Okay, these are the operations are focusing for code profile. Okay, the next one is called as a code coverage. Um, Okay, here what we are going to do, we are going to code coverage is defined as level or percentage to which the source code of the enterprise application is tested. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. Well, here what we are going to do, we are not check the functionality of the enterprise application. We are going to check the while performing the testing on the particular method. Uh, okay, how much percentage of the code uh, to be executed by test cases? Okay, that is called as a code coverage. Okay, the code coverage is mainly focusing on the percentage of the code within the source program has been tested. Okay, okay, it is not check the functionality of the program. Okay, in the 15 minute, we are talk about n number of tests, such as what is a white box test, what is a black box test. Okay, different type of tests are going on. Okay, and the main purpose of the code coverage is okay, how much percentage of the code within the program it's a tested. Okay, in the code coverage, it's focusing on following attributes. One is called as a path coverage. The path coverage, what it does in the sense, it measure degree to which the permutation of all the possible logic flow in the given code base under the test. Okay, for example, what it trying to say that in the sense, you had the main program. Within the main program, you had n number of methods. So all the program you write in the concept of call by reference or call by value. Okay, the path coverage in the sense, okay, um, okay, the measure the degree to which the permutation of all the possible logical flow in the given code under the test. Okay, um, okay, that is called as a path coverage, and next one is called as a condition coverage. The condition coverage is measure uh, the degree to which the Boolean condition of all Boolean expression of the application, whether the tested or not. Okay, for example, in the main program, I had write one Boolean expression. Um, okay, before after converting the as a enterprise application, we are going to perform different type of testing. Suppose you are applying the condition coverage in the sense, so it will check the Boolean condition within the source program. Okay. Suppose n number of courses are available, how much amount of the Boolean expressions are tested? That is called as a condition coverage. And then decision coverage. Decision in the sense, it's a talk about if, okay, uh, if condition, okay. So, for example, in your program, a number of Boolean statement decision coverage statements are there. For example, 10 statements are there. Out of 10 statement, okay, how much amount of the code coverage is done out of 10 uh, if else statement? Okay, that is called as a decision coverage, like that method coverage. Okay, 10 methods are available. So while performing the testing, how much percentage of methods are tested? That is called as a method test. The next one is called as a statement coverage. It's a okay. Other than decision making statement, other than method, those are the things we call it as a statement. While performing the testing, how much amount of the statements are yeah, you tested? So that is called as a statement coverage. Okay, so that is called as a dynamic code analysis. Here we are going to perform two types of testing. So one is called as a static code analysis. Another one is called as a dynamic code analysis. In the static code analysis, we are going to perform testing on while compiling that program, it will generate certain error. So that time, what happened? We are going to we are going to solve those issues. That is called as a static code analysis. Next one is called as a dynamic code analysis. Dynamic code analysis in the sense it is just opposite to static code analysis. Even without running that program, we are going to check the performance of the code. Okay, that is called dynamic code analysis. In the dynamic code analysis, it's focusing on two parameters. One focusing on two things. One is called as a code profiling. Another one is called as a code coverage. Uh, okay, in the code profiling is focusing on following things. Okay, so while executing that program, how many number of stages is passes through? So while executing that program, how much time it spend on sleep method and then okay. So these are the parameter we are going to analyzing on the code profiling. Whereas in the code coverage, in the sense, while performing the testing, how much percentage of the code has been tested while performing the uh, testing. Okay, that is called as a code coverage. Okay. Okay. Do you have any queries up to this? Do you have any queries? Okay. That's all about fourth unit. Okay. The fourth unit is only focusing. It's a focusing on mainly focusing on. Okay, how do you convert the design into the code? Okay, in the design perspective, different type of layers are there. That is called as a presentation layer, session layer, infrastructure layer, and business layer. Okay, how those are the things you are going to convert it as a code. So for that, what are the different type of technical tool you are going to use? Okay. Next, they are talking about testing, static analysis of the code. Two way we can analyze the code. One is called as a static, another one is called as a dynamic. Okay. Okay. Next, on the fifth unit is next. I'm going to start with the fifth unit. That is called as a testing and rolling out of enterprise application. Next, the fifth unit is dealing with testing and rolling out of the enterprise application. As of now, what we have did is we take input as a design and convert it as a code. So after that, what happened? You convert it as a executable file. Okay. So before rollout into that the end user, what happened? You're going in that enterprise application, you should carry on so different type of testing. Okay, so that is called as a testing. Okay, um, sir, what is the necessity of the testing? For example, you are not done testing in proper manner on your enterprise application. So obviously, what happened? It will reduce your brand name of your organization. Okay, that is the main issue. Okay. Um, okay, I will tell one example in 2008. Okay, in the HP, what happened? They will release one of the laptop product that is called as a HP Pavilion. Okay, how how it can be manufactured in the sense based on UK US climate condition, environment condition. Same laptop is produced for Indian environment. So first 2 years it does not generate any issue on that laptop. After 2 years or 3 years, what happen? It will generate more heat. So because of that, what happen? The remaining spare parts of the laptop, what happen? It will it will spoil. Okay. So while working that laptop, what happen? Uh, Automatically what happen? Your hard disk failure is occur. Okay. Otherwise, what happen? Your display is spoil out. Like that problem is occur. So why those problems are occur in the sense? After that, they are going to analyzing it. So without proper testing, what happened? They will release the product in Indian market. So because of that, what happened? That failure is occur due to certain reason. Due to those reason, what happened? It will affect the brand name of HP. Okay, it is affect the brand name. Okay, that is a main issue. Okay, uh, okay, I will list out. Okay, so now you had the enterprise application. So within that, you are going to apply different type of testing and different type of okay, different types and methods of testing we are going to apply it. I'm going to list out one by one. The first one is called as a functional testing, and the second one is called as non-functional testing, and third one is white box testing, and fourth one is black box testing. Okay. Okay, what is a functional testing in the sense? Okay, for example, you are writing the functionality. How your enterprise applications are organized in the sense it associated with n number of classes, and then each classes is associated with methods. The functional testing, uh, okay, the testing the functionality as per the stated requirement in terms of functional testing. Okay, it will test the functionality of the test the functionality as per the requirement. As per the requirement. It is called as a functional testing. Non-functional testing in the sense, um, okay, it will here what happen other than the functionality. Okay, other than the functionality in the sense, it's we are talking about the quality attributes. Okay, such as security, performance, maintainability, and reliability, and availability and scalability. Okay, you can check okay, the quality attributes, such as security, then performance. Uh, Third one is called as maintainability. Fourth one is reliability. Reliability. availability. These are the parameter we call it as a quality attributes. So security in the sense whether you will provide all this security feature for your application or not. That is called as a security. Performance. Performance in the sense if okay, suppose you are giving workload on workload for particular server. That time whether it will provide a robust performance for end user or not. That is called as a performance. You want to check that. Okay, and reliability in the sense. Um, okay, for example, any one of the component in your application or something. For example, your developing enterprise application, it's based on distributed environment. Okay, how the distributed environment should be appear, it associated with the n number of systems are available. Okay, okay. Suppose if any one of the systems are failure, for example, how it going to perform computation task? The task is hand over to one of the machine in the distributed environment. So it is a responsible for okay, it will distribute the task to remaining system. So finally collect the response and okay, uh, and finally it will provide the response to the end user. If any one of the machine is failure, what happens? Okay, it should provide the reliable service to the end user such a way that you want to design it. Okay. So like that reliability and then availability and scalability. Okay. Scalability in the sense, suppose in you suppose you had a distributed environment, you are going to add one of the machine in the existing architecture. If you adding that new machine in your distributed environment, whether it will it does not reduce the performance of your machine, your environment, such a way that you want to designing that. So that is called as a scalability. Okay. Next one is called as a white box testing. So in the white box testing is the internal structure of the application in detail. Um, okay, this method typically is a check for flow of data, control, branching sequence, and knowledge of the algorithm and data structure used in the application. It's required in the white box testing. Okay, in the white box testing, okay, test, it will test the internal structure of the application. Test the internal structure of the application. Internal structure of the application. Okay. Uh, okay. Here, what are the things we are going to does in the white box testing in the sense? Okay. Um it will check the flow of the data. Okay. How the flow of the data how occur, and then we check the control and branching sequence. Okay. We're going to check the control and branching. Okay, branching and sequence, and then should know that the knowledge of the algorithm, so what type of data structure you are used in the application. Knowledge of the algorithm and what type of data structure used in the program, used in the enterprise application. Okay. So these are the things. The okay, those who are performing the white test boxing, the person should know that the knowledge of the algorithm as well as the what type of data structure they used in the program. Okay, that is called as a white box test. So then only they can identify that how the data are flows. Okay, so they can able to perform the testing. Okay, that is a prerequisite of this white box white box testing. Next one is called as a black box testing. So it is just opposite to white box testing. Suppose I'm one of the tester. I want to perform white box testing for any particular application in the sense. So before that, I should know that what type of algorithm used in the program, and then what type of data structure used in the program. They want to know that. Then only they can able to perform white box testing. Whereas in the black box testing, without knowing any knowledge of the algorithm, they should be carry on the testing. Okay, it's focusing on uh, testing the application from external perspective. Um, okay, it's focusing on testing the application from an external perspective. Okay, an external perspective in the sense, okay, how it will communicate with the. For example, this is I had one of the enterprise application. It is a based on client server. Okay. Uh, so in order to communicate with the externals, in order to communicate third party, how it going to communicate with that. So like that of testing, we call it as, and then like that of testing, we call it as a black box testing. Okay. Okay. The testing on, on the application from external test application from external perspective. Okay. So these are the different type of uh, testing methods are available. Next, I'm going to focus. Next thing is called as a testing level. Okay. Okay. In the testing level is focusing on how much to test, when to test the enterprise application. Okay. Um, so previously we talked about dynamic code analysis. In the dynamic code analysis, we're focusing on one of the method is called as a code review. In the code review, what we have does in what we have does, we are going to check that. Suppose you had the n number of statement in your program. In the n number of statement, while performing the testing, how much percentage of the code you have tested. So like that thing we call it as, okay, testing levels. Okay, in the testing levels, this one is called as a testing level. In that, okay, different type of testing levels are available. Okay, mainly focusing on for a while performing the testing, how much amount of the code you have tested, when you have tested. So you want to answer the above one in the sense, we are going to perform different type of here different type of testing levels are available. The first one is called as a unit testing. Okay, one is called as a unit testing, and the second one is called as a integration testing. Third one is called as a system testing. Okay, and fourth one is called as a acceptance testing. Okay, acceptance testing. What is the meaning of unit testing in the sense? It will ensure that your code or your method, okay, as per the specification or not. That is called as a unit testing. If, for example, you are writing the one of the class, within that class, n number of methods are available. Okay, in the unit testing, what we are going to do, you take any one of the method within the class, and then you are going to check that. whether it will produce a result as per the requirement or not. Okay, that is called as a unit testing. The unit testing ensure that your standalone application or method or code or whatever it may be, your method, okay, its work, method, its work as per the requirement of as per the requirement of and ensure that your method or your code or whatever it may be, it will produce as per the requirement or not. That is called as a unit testing. Next one is called as a integration testing. It will ensure that the software code or module or function class are grouped together consistency. The unit of these groups are tested, including interaction among those units to find out any inconsistency among those units. So integration means what? For example, in the Java you had n number of classes. So in the each classes what happened? We are going to invoke some other method which is existing on another classes. Okay. So suppose here what we are going to do? We are going to group all the method. Sorry, we are group all the classes, and then we are going to passing the data, and then we are going to check that whether it will provide a consistency result or not, whether it's going to communicate all the module or not. So that type of testing we call it as a integration testing. Okay, that type of testing we call it as a integration testing. Grouping all the modules in all the module within the program, grouping all the module within the program, and then we are going to check whether it will provide consistency result or not. Okay, consistency in the sense, okay, whether the message is passed all the module, whether the interactions are take place between all the classes or not. If all the classes, then only what happen, it will produce a consistency result. Okay. Next one is called as a system testing. Okay, the system testing take place after the integration testing is completed. After integration test only, we are going to perform the system testing. This type of testing involves testing entire system as a whole by providing the different type of input to the enterprise application and verifying that the different functionality of the system. Okay. Mm, okay. Okay. For example, how we can previously what we have did is in the integration testing in the sense, for example, you are running the bank management system. If we consider the bank management system, different type of modules are available. So one is called as a it will provide the statement of the particular user. Another one is dealing with the loan management. Someone is dealing with the online transaction. Like that, different type of modules are there, and then each module it associated with n number of files. Okay, in the integration test what happen, I will take the loan management system. It associated with the n number of files. In the n number of files, whether the consistencies occur or not. Okay, that type of operation is I carry on in this integration testing. Whereas in the system testing, what happen? I will take a whole module, such as I'm taking for uh, uh, okay, I will take the loan management system, and then uh, okay, online transaction management, and then mini statement thing. I will take all the module, and then I'm going to perform testing. So the type of testing we call it as a system testing. The last one is called as a acceptance testing. Um, Okay, acceptance. Okay, the acceptance testing what happen? So before rollout of the enterprise application to the end user, they will take one small test cases. Whether the particular test cases it's working fine or not. The type of performance we call it as acceptance testing. Okay, the acceptance testing means I'm going to take a subset of test cases. Okay, I'm taking for subset of test cases. Whether all the test cases, whether it's produced a fine result or not. Okay, that is called as the acceptance test. Okay, final one more testing is that is called as a production testing. Okay, what is the meaning of production? Last one is called as a production testing. Okay, the production testing is the last level of testing in the testing phase is called as a production testing. It basically the pilot releasing the enterprise application in the production environment with a subset of user bases. Okay, the product base and transaction volume to have uh, okay first hand feel of a live enterprise application. Okay, what it does in the sense. Um, so after releasing the product, so what happened? The particular developer, what happened? They are going to execute the enterprise application for behalf of user. Here, what we are going to do, for example, this is one of the transaction management. Assume that this is this application is dealing with transaction management. Okay, here what happened? They will take uh, they will take some subset of use cases. Okay, for example, the first what happened, they will check that so 10 users, all the 10 users what happened, they are going to using the enterprise application. That cases the pilot they are going to check that whether it will produce the good performance or not. Okay, that is the type of testing is called as a production testing. Okay, okay, it is the last level of testing in the testing phase. Okay, so now I'm going to summarizing it. So this is last one is called as a testing level. Why we are going to perform testing level in the sense? Okay, um, we want to answer the following question: how much of the code within the program you have tested? When you have tested? So for that we are going to apply testing level. First one is called as a unit test. Unit test in the sense okay, we take if we consider enterprise application, it's associated with a number of modules, and then each module is containing a number of program. So we take in one of the and it will ensure that the method within the program is working fine or not. Next, integration tested together, and then I'm going to check that whether it will provide a consistency result or not. Okay, consistency in the sense whether the communication is mm, okay, whether the interaction among all the classes occur or not. So okay, there is integration testing. System acceptance testing in the sense we are integrating all the module within the enterprise application and then untesting it. The acceptance testing in the sense before roll out the application to an end user, we are taking for some subset of test cases and applying on the enterprise application. Okay, accept last thing is called as production testing. The production testing, what happen? The developer they are going to execute the code behalf of the user, and then they are going to applying certain parameters and then check the performance of the enterprise application. Okay, that's all about testing. Any queries? Any queries? Okay. Okay. Thank you. It's a time for lunch. We will see you in the next class. Thank you.